So we are with Meg Sakilayan-Latvala. Did I pronounce it well?
Yes,
okay.
you did. Yes, you did.
Arrival Cities Local Coordinator for the municipality of Vantaa in Finland. So as we asked you, the other interviewer, can you tell us a little bit about the situation in terms of inclusion of migrants and refugees in the city of Vantaa?
Well, for the city of Vantaa, it's really a very important priority because, as I have mentioned in my presentation earlier, we have the most number of foreign language speakers in the city, and with that I mean for people with foreign background. It's 70.8%. It's the highest in Finland. So we cannot do without putting it in the highest or top of our priority. And at the moment, of course, we have a long history of cooperation with different sectors, but as the new wave of migration has arrived and different people moving from different countries for different purposes, and of course historically the services that the integration services that we have in Vantaa was actually developed for, like, in the 90s when we had the refugees and asylum seekers, but now we also have the highly educated migrants. We also have those who moved for the marriage migrants, and we also have the students, and of course in 2015 we had another set of refugee and asylum seekers in the city. So in a way the integration services were kind of a little bit stuck to what it was before, so there's a continuous need to develop these services in order to actually address the current context of the city. And that means not only that we have to change the services or improve the services, but we also have to make sure that different and relevant stakeholders are actually engaged and involved in the issue. And I think that is where the integrated action plan comes in.
So, and how did URBACT and the work within Arrival Cities help that? Well,
URBACT methodology actually gave us a framework to actually make sure that the strategic planning is in a way co-creation, that we focus on co-creation and participatory process, that not only those who are working in the cities are actually the ones doing the strategy and the rest are just implementing it, but in a way in making sure that all the voices are heard and everybody, that we could also get the grassroots level point of view. And it gives an opportunity to have this bottom-up approach, that we have representatives from the city who are really dealing with the issues and who can actually make changes or influence particular changes. And also we have NGOs and other sectors and even residents trying to pitch in their ideas on how to make it work, how to make use of our existing resources. And, you know, if you compare Vantaa to Helsinki or Espoo, we really have very limited resources in Vantaa. And this is why we have a long history of cooperation with different sectors, because we don't have enough resources to just pay someone and do it for us. We really have to use what existing resources each sector has and work together, so we could really try to address and be more effective in facing these challenges.
So what is that's very interesting, because you are a case of a city who was really engaged in redesigning services and rethinking also local policies in relation of migrants and refugees. But how do you deal with national policies? Are there any contradictions with the work that you do and the discourse that are, publicly made at national level, and how do you relate what you do at local level with European policies as well?
Well,
levels?
I think there's not that much contradiction. I wouldn't say that it's a contradiction. It's just something that we were forced to do differently. And I think it's not forced to do differently. It's kind of like we had to think of a way to actually utilize what we have. And I think it's a difference, but not really contradictory. I think all of the cities are, like, on a national level, we are both in a way facing the same issues, but then since we had that long history of cooperation and we already know how to do that in a way, so we kind of face it from a different angle. I guess. I think it's the same with the European policies that are in place, that it's the same for everyone, but then I guess based from our history and from our own experience, we kind of like look at it in a different angle. That's why when we had our final seminar in Vantaa when we presented the integrated action plan, actually one of our colleagues from a different city and from the ministry as well, the representatives from the ministry actually said that, hey, Vantaa is a laboratory for integration in Finland because we are more, we take risks we took chances in trying out different things. And I think Jaakko Niinistö, our deputy mayor, articulated it well enough during our side event, saying that it was the first thing that he signed when he stepped up as a deputy mayor.
Signed the integration plan?
No, signed our partnership with Amadora for arrivals. Okay. It was one of the first tasks that he did. So I think when the city shows a lot of commitment to not only to the residents but also to the NGOs who are on the grassroots level, that they're committed to work together and they're looking for different ways to do things together. It really gives a different kind of atmosphere for collaboration. It's a very good starting point, I guess.
And it's good to hear that from you, that you come from an NGO and you start working with us.
Well, I still work for the NGO, but then when I after this URBACT Summer University, I had the opportunity to attend it, and I talked with Hannele for after the university, and I told her that we really have to transfer all these things that I know, and we have to do it now because I'll forget about it. And then we just figured out that, well, maybe we could actually develop our IAP like the way you had it in Summer University. That way, you will not just teach them, have lectures about it, but the ULG had experienced it as well, the way we did it in the Summer University. That's what we did, basically.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.